to the Diamond Niner Gals podcast, NCAA Tournament Edition. I am Nick, joined as always by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Producer Brad, always making it go.
Hey.
And last but never, ever least, the HSC, low sleep and all, Ashley Chastain. What's up, Coach?
Good afternoon, guys.
Oh, my goodness. We thought that we had awesome things to talk about last week. I don't even know where to begin, Coach. We were kicking the can around before you came on, talking about we didn't get a chance to talk about the all-conference awards that the gals won. And then there's your weekend at Wichita, and then there's NCAA. You just start wherever you want to, and we'll ride along with you. How about that?
Yeah, I know we've got a lot of good things to talk about. It's just a really exciting time of the year. It's kind of, the time of the year that we just all wait for. We talked to the girls at the very beginning of the journey in August that, there's 2 times of the year where you can compete or practice without having to worry about school. And that's in preseason before spring semester starts back. And then there's postseason. And so we're just in a really exciting time. The girls have finished up classes, did really well in the classroom. And they're just so excited about everything that's happening. And, it's a ton of just really great emotions, a ton of great days that we've stacked together. And it's been a lot of fun. So we went out to Wichita, and it was quite the journey out there. We left.
You did a little planes, trains, and automobiles thing, didn't you?
Yes, we stayed in Charlotte a little longer because we got the 2 seed. And so we stayed here practice, and then we ended up having to, when we changed our original flight from Monday to Wednesday, we kind of had to fly in groups over the course of the afternoon into the night on Wednesday to get everyone out, just because the planes didn't have the availability that we needed at this point so late. And so we flew in groups, and we ended up getting everyone out to Wichita by Thursday morning. We did have a group that got stuck in Dallas and couldn't get to Wichita, so they actually flew to Oklahoma City and stayed the night in Oklahoma City, and then drove the 2 hours to Wichita the next morning. But just hats off to everyone that helps in those moments where it's like, hey, we've got a group stranded, and then we've got Melinda Young in our business office. We've got Sydney Kane, our director of ops, on the phone, just trying to get everyone to Wichita, late Wednesday. It's a group effort. I'm really thankful for all of that process. And so we got everyone to Wichita. We lifted Thursday, had a great practice, and then just really, we were just ready to attack the tournament. We were only focused on the tournament. We really wanted to win the championship, and, a 4th in a row game for North Texas for us was really tough. We were really excited about that matchup, but had just finished the regular season with their series here at the Sioux, took care of business. And then, Saturday was just such an awesome day. I mean, it's just one that you'll remember forever, those days that are so special. And we talked Saturday morning playing Wichita that we were not going to pitch to Barnard. As everyone that watched the game knows, we intentionally walked her 3 times. Even there at the end, we wanted to protect the run rule as much as possible to finish the game in 5. So we didn't even pitch to her at the end. So we talked to the team just about how we were going to have to be super gritty in the circle and defensively, because we weren't going to intentionally walk CeCe Wong, but we were going to be very selective with her, and then intentionally walking Barnard. So there was a chance that we could start the game 1st and 2nd with nobody out, which ended up happening that way. And the girls were prepared for that moment. They didn't panic. And then, Tegan made a great double play that got us out of the inning. And I just felt like from that moment, we had everything on our side. We had so much momentum, and then Ari comes up to the plate and hits the 2nd pitch of the game out. And I just was like, okay, this is how this is going to go. They're ready. They're here to play, really here to dominate, not even just play the game. They were there to win in a very dominant way. And, the game just kind of took control from there. Katie Browder and I stayed at the FAU Wichita game on Friday afternoon because I had never been to Wichita, and they have great community, great support for softball. Christy, has really built their program into something that the city of Wichita is really excited about. And so I just wanted to be in their atmosphere and feel what it was going to feel like for us on Saturday if Wichita had won the game. And it was intense. I mean, there was 1,000 people there. And I told the gals on the scout meeting on Saturday morning, I said, you're going to have to deafen the crowd because there's not going to be very many people in the stands that want the Niners to win. And the community there is behind the softball program. There was going to be a lot of people there, just cheering for Wichita. So I just thought they handled everything really professionally and did really well. A fun little story. So after we came off defense, the middle of the first, Sam had walked Barnard and the crowd booed her. Mm-hmm. And she came in the dugout and she looked at me and she kind of smiled and she goes, I've never been booed before. That was a first, and it was pretty cool. So you might want to ask her about that. That was a first for her. And, Sam's just pitching really well right now. I told someone the other day, I don't know if I've ever seen her pitch like she's pitching right now. Her stuff is just really good. She's fresh. Her mentality is rock solid like it's always been. And she's just pitching from such a conviction that, she wants to win and wants to take this team to the next, the next milestone. And she's just pitching really well. And so I just love what she's doing. And I love everything about what our team is doing. I mean, top to bottom, everyone that's involved, starters, reserves, role players, our support staff. I mean, everyone is just so bought in. And I've really felt that the past 24 hours, even with us making plans all day today logistically that we have to make to go to the regional this weekend in Athens. We just have, everyone is like doing their part and pulling their weight, and it's just awesome. We're really excited about what the week holds. But yeah, going back to Saturday, it was awesome. Won the championship. Those moments on the field where, you're wearing the hats and the shirts. And I got doused by the water cooler for the first time in my career. That's never happened to me before. I have avoided that for years. That was an intense moment for me. Those of you that know me, I cannot stand being cold. So that was out of my comfort zone, but I embraced it. That was really fun.
Should have had the puffer jacket on.
I needed it. I needed it real fast because I was like, wow, that is really cold. But I would do it 1,000 times. It was just so fun. Like the girls were they had so much joy and so much love for each other. And the parents came on the field. We took about 500 photos and, just photos that we'll cherish and memories that we'll cherish forever. And, it was really special for me. Those of you that follow baseball or that, know, but Robert was in Wichita because they actually had a regular season series at Wichita this weekend. And so he was able to come over for when we won the championship. So having him on the field was really special to me. And we shared that moment last year at Rice.
Right.
Excuse me. When the 23 baseball team won the conference tournament championship. So, just to share that moment again, it's just, those are just things that, make it all worth it and you'll never forget. So just really blessed, really excited, and really thankful for the journey. And then honestly, what's ahead. I mean, we've got some really great softball ahead of us, which I know we'll talk about.
That's right. Yeah. These are moments that you do all this for, right? Moments like this. And it's exciting. You can feel the excitement last night in the selection show. It was through the roof, to be honest.
I just want to extend a thank you. Sorry, Kevin, just really fast before I forget, because my mind is like, 1,000. It's kind of like mush right now, and also in 1,000 places. But I just want to thank everyone for coming last night to the selection show watch party, because it was packed. It's an awesome moment, just for the team, but it's so much better when there's a big crowd and it's like so much excitement in the room. And there were just so many different people there, different affiliations with the program. There were people there that I've never seen before, that maybe were just fans from afar and decided to come. So thankful for our campus partners, the Alumni Association, Cabarrus Brewing, Patrick Wheeler, Sydney Kane, Chris Thomason, everyone that really put that on last night. It was really special, and it'll be something that the gals look back on their career and remember.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about Saturday's game a little bit more. You mentioned Sam Gress and how she's throwing. It's almost not fair that you go to the bullpen and bring in the Pitt Conference Pitcher of the Year to close that out on Saturday. Talk about that'll be a good segue to our conference award. Gigi Barefoot winning the AAC Pitcher of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just really don't have words for how proud we are of her. I mean, just to end her career on such a high note, and she earned every bit of that award. She pitched so well for us, and she was the consistent piece all year. Her and Sam right now, they're interchangeable. They're both throwing really well. It's really powerful for us because we're able to pick the matchup, whether it's Sam or whether it's Gigi based on the offense that we're facing, and then one of the other ones usually in relief out of the bullpen, they're kind of like interchangeable right now. But I think from top to bottom, from February till now, Gigi's been the most consistent. She's been super healthy. We ran into a couple weeks with Sam there in the middle of the year where she got hurt, and we worked her back from a little bit of an injury. And when that happened, Gigi just really took on the load and, was able to, pitch really well when we didn't have Sam. And so, she just, if you look across the stat line of conference, she had the best numbers for the innings pitched. I mean, I think she threw over 80 innings in conference. She had the most wins in conference. She was by far, her body of work was the best in conference of any pitcher in the American. So I was just so proud of her. It's such a great representation of her family, who she is, why she came here, and just how hard she's worked for that. And there's really great pitching in our league this year. So she was in good company for that nomination and that win of the award. So just really proud of her, really happy. The team was just like in tears, happy and thrilled when we announced to them that she had gotten the award. So that was a cool moment.
On top of that, I'm pulling it up. I want to make sure we don't leave anybody out, but the gals had a record crop of all conference players in addition. That what's so great about that is it's a mixture of veterans and some young gals that got in on that as well. So as you look at just the seven that were all conference, you can kind of see a little bit, obviously a lot of the present, but also kind of a glimpse at the future for the gals as well.
Yeah, for sure. Really proud of Olivia Williams, kind of thinking on the future. She got all rookie team, and Olivia's been one that has just really kind of broken through middle to back end of season. Early on, she was a little bit of a role player. She has a ton of speed. I think we were able to kind of work her in slowly at the beginning to where she got really comfortable, learned the game at a really high level. And then she kind of became a piece of our offense that we could not take out. So she found herself, as a starter, the last half of season. And, Olivia is like, I think she's 5'3". She might disagree with me. I think she's around 5'3". I don't know what it says on the website. It might say 5'5" on the website, give her a little boost there. But she plays like she's 6 foot tall. What'd you say?
Yeah, maybe she measured with her cleats on.
Yeah, probably. But she plays the game and she carries herself like she's 6 foot tall. And I've said that about her all year. She grew up with 2 brothers. She's tough as nails. She got heckled pretty bad in the right field kind of fun section of Wichita State. They gave her heck out there in right field.
They did have a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, they were throwing a party out there for sure. There's no one better for the job though. I mean, she's just so tough. She can handle it. and to see her get all rookie team, I think the team was just really happy for her and excited. And it is a glimpse of the future, we had, I'm thinking back here now, first team was Ella, Brody, Barefoot, right? I think I've got all three of those gals. And then, so to speak to your point, we got Chancey and Rhodey returning. Ella 1 more year of her career after this season's over, and Rhodey's just halfway done with her career. So really exciting there. And then second team in Gress and Hoffler. And you guys know how we feel about Corey Hoffler. I'm just cherishing every day in my heart with her at this point, and then Sam Gress returning again, the Sassy Pony's back again for her last year next year. So yeah, you're right. It's good when you kind of have it spread out some, you have a ton of success all the way through, your classes. So that way, every class you're going to lose impact. We're losing a ton as a group. I think this year, as a holistic group, we're losing a lot. But it's next man up, and they leave a legacy and a foundation, and the next group is their job is to continue on and make it better and just keep passing the torch. And that's very much our mindset with recruiting, and how we develop kind of those underclassmen into leaders, over the couple years. So yeah, I was really excited that, all those guys got first team, second team, and all rookie team. And then, we dominated the all tournament team, and rightfully so, because they played really well for 2 games. But I think the special moment with the all tournament team was Raina Blackwell. And what a cool story that is the past couple weeks, as, Lexi Winters broke her hand in the North Texas series, and it's a huge loss for our team. Winnie is one of the best defensive catchers in the country. I mean, I forgot she's defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year. I was gonna say she's not one of the best. She's like the best.
The best. Yeah. Defensive player of the year. Catcher. Just kind of. She's like that secret, like weapon. She just steals so many moments in the game that go our way. I think she makes at least 10 pitches a game from balls to strikes every time she catches our pitchers. And it might not sound like a lot, but it is. It's a ton. And so when we lost her with the broken hand, diving into third base of the North Texas series, obviously really upset and very emotional on all fronts, the coaching staff, her parents, her, the team, but we just rallied together. And it's like, you can never put yourself in a position as a program when you lose one player, like everything falls apart. And so it was next man up, and Raina Blackwell has caught meaningful innings for us all year. And we met with her. She was ready for the job. And I think she's handled it really well. She's worked hard with Jody over the past week just to make sure that she was fine tuning everything she was doing to be ready to give us championship caliber catching behind the plate. And I thought she did a great job. And to get all tournament team, the team was just like, it was just so cool how like excited they were, that she got that moment. And she's a freshman, Raina's like a super freshman because she's, really supposed to be in high school. So.
Yeah.
Just worth noting. I'm sorry, Kev. Hold that thought. I was just going to point out real quick for anybody watching, parents that were on the field or anybody that was in Wichita, or if you didn't get to see this, the game was on ESPN too. But if you go to ESPN Plus now, you can watch that whole ceremony on demand. So if you missed it, you can go. They were going to show it live, Coach, but they didn't have it set up properly. They weren't expecting the championship game to go run rule, and it did. And so it was not supposed to start until 2:30. The stream was, and then by the time they started it, you guys were done. But if you're out there and you're like, man, I missed getting to see how excited they were for Raina and all these various awards, it's on ESPN Plus on demand, so you can go check it out. Anyway, I just want to drop that in there. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I was just going to note on Raina Blackwell, she's really supposed to be a senior in high school right now. And we were talking to some of the folks on Sunday, and they were saying that she was supposed to go to her senior prom. And they said some of the gals kind of got together with her and threw her kind of a makeshift prom last week. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, so After we got done playing the North Texas series, I think is when it was, they were talking about something and I didn't really know what they were talking about. And then all of a sudden someone says that the team is throwing Raina her high school prom. And I was like, you're doing what? And so Raina got a dress, she got dressed up, everyone got dressed up, and they went out to dinner and they did the whole thing, because Raina never got to go to her high school senior prom. And I actually was answering a few questions with the broadcasters from this past weekend during the middle of our stay in Wichita before the championship game. And they asked me a lot about Raina because, she's a new player onto the scene, catching every day for us now. And I told them that story about, actually the team just threw her a prom because she missed her prom because she graduated early. And I guess they went on social or they contacted one of the girls, and on the live broadcast feed, if you go back and watch it, I'm pretty sure that they put up photos of the girls from Raina's prom.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun. That's just who they are for each other. They have each other's back. They look out for each other. They have a ton of fun together. And, that's just, I was so impressed they even thought about doing it. I just thought it was hilarious.
Oh, I mean, that's really thoughtful. I mean, I take it you were not invited to chaperone that.
No, I was left out of that one. I didn't get the invite, but that's okay. I didn't hold it against them.
We didn't either. Coach. So.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say, you were talking about, and this is for Winnie and Raina. When you start looking into some of the foundational works on analytical baseball. No, it's a softball show, but we started reading about analytical baseball about 4 years ago now for some reason. And one of the foundational works is big data baseball. And one of the cornerstone concepts in big data baseball is a catcher that can effectively frame pitches. And that's what we got in terms of Winnie. And looks like Raina is not too far behind, following in her footsteps. So, I know you guys play an analytical form of the game, and framing pitches behind the plate is like a cornerstone piece of that.
Yeah, I think, we have a great analytics side of the program, kind of led by Jody Davidson, who is our catching coach, but also just kind of oversees all of our technology and our data. And, we have a ton of software and programs that, give us all the numbers and the data. We do trust that. It helps take a lot of bias out of making decisions and a lot of the guesswork out, which is great. And then we also work with the sport analytics program here on campus. One of our partners, they have people that come out and analyze all kinds of stuff about the team statistically. They come to most games. One of our managers, Nathan Bodenheimer, was on the analytics crew, the sport analytics degree crew last year, and he became a manager for us this year. So he also helps bridge that gap and works closely with those guys. But to have Raina come in and statistically not be such a gap in receiving between Winnie and Raina, that's huge. It really is huge. And, it is, I think it's a huge advantage for us in the long, over time, that Winnie has been such a good catcher for us. It's kind of been, like I said, that secret weapon that it probably gets a little bit overlooked at times, but it is a key piece of how we pitch and how we win. And I just thought her getting defensive player of the year was so fitting because she really was the best defensive player in the league. But it's, sometimes you don't necessarily see a catcher get that award, or, you see, a shortstop or a little bit more flashy of a defensive player get it. But statistically, she deserved it.
The other thing I wanted to comment on that you brought up was talking about Liv being maybe a little on the smaller side. She definitely looked about 6 feet tall when she was going down the first baseline, and she trucked Wichita State's first baseman.
I know. She came in the dugout, and she was a little hot. Everyone in the dugout was a little hot because they just have each other's backs so much. And it was chippy. I mean, the whole weekend was chippy. And the girls had props and all kinds of stuff in the dugout. And, they were saying anything that came to their mind that would get into the Wichita State pitcher's head or someone that was playing first or whatever. But Liv came down the line and, you're not supposed to make contact with the defender. And so she did not avoid contact and she ran right into her and she came in the dugout and I was like, that you're not supposed to do that. You can't make contact with the defender, which she knew, and just in the moment she ran into her. And I looked at her and I said, okay, now you're going to have some really thick skin going out to right field to that party crew, party deck out in right field. And they let her have it once she got out there. She said, she told me, she's like, I called my parents because her mom and dad didn't get to come out to the championship. But they were there last night at the selection show. We talked about it for a few minutes. And she told me, she's like, I called my parents after the game and I told them some of the things that they were saying to me out there. I was like, yeah, I bet you did.
Oh, I'm sure it was all good, clean fun.
Yeah, I guess we can say that, I guess.
Well, she was just setting the tone of a physical game. She set the tone early with that. So
yeah, it's the nature of competition. I mean, we don't try to create this
right
mute atmosphere where you can't have any heckling and chirping back and forth. I think it's a great part of the game, as long as it stays in good sportsmanship and it's a lot of fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, this isn't Durham. We can have fun.
Yeah, I did think about that the other day. I said, I wonder if this regional is going to be muted a little bit like last year's.
I don't know. I hope not.
I doubt it.
Yeah, the folks down in Athens know how to have a good time at sporting events. Coach, I wanted the key defensive play in the North Texas game. I wanted to touch on Michaela Mitchell in center field. It was bases loaded. Yeah. She goes airborne, makes a catch, saves 2 to 4 runs. Who knows if that ball gets out or not? Talk a little bit about her play in center field. There was a lot of other defensive plays as well during the series. Talk a little bit about that specifically and any other defensive plays that stood out to you this week.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I think Michaela Mitchell got the dugout card, and in that North Texas game, and it was because of that play. To me, that was the difference in the game. If she doesn't make the catch, it's grand slam. And if she makes the catch, then, we keep the momentum. And so she just kind of, I think, went all out and she executed it perfectly. She jumped at the right time. And, that catch right there is an accumulation of years of training with Jody. They work on that stuff all the time, and she was just really prepared for the moment. And then she wasn't afraid to go get the ball. And it was definitely the difference in the game, because that right there would have changed completely the momentum. So, I think arguably that was probably the most important defensive play of the weekend, even including the championship game. I think the double play that Tegan made, in the top of the first against Wichita was also another one that just stands out to me because, it was such fire. We went first and second, nobody out, first and second, 1 out. And then double played it in the inning. That was just everything we needed coming in the game or coming into the dugout for Ari's first at bat. So I think those 2 plays are probably the most important, best plays. We played great defense. Abby played really well in left. Rhodey made some good defensive plays at first. Liv made a really tough catch in right. So it's just all contagious. I think when you have players that are going all out defensively, you give that to everyone around you. We say it starts in the circle and it just kind of goes out. So if Sam gives her heart to every pitch she throws, the defense is going to the defense is going to play the same. They're going to make those plays for her. So, but I was really proud of Kayla. She got the dugout card and, that catch right there, it's it's one for the books. I mean, that catch, and then I remember the catch that Lexi Wagner made last year at Virginia Tech that helped us win that Virginia Tech game on the road middle of the year, midweek. She robbed a home run. That would have been the difference in the game. And Michaela really learned from a lot from Lexi Wagner, kind of waited for Lexi to graduate and took over her spot. So to see kind of the lineage passed down of, Wagner making the play last year and then now Kayla makes a play like that this year, as a coach, like those are just really special things that you kind of just make note of like, man, like that was passed down, how to do that.
Well, we're going to start working you out of here, Coach, because you probably need to go take a nap or something.
Thank you. Well, I just appreciate everything you guys have done all year for us. I mean, the podcast is obviously super fun for me, but it's just a way that people can know a little bit more about the program, the inside stories, and I just am grateful for it. And we're really looking forward to this weekend. These are the days that we've earned, and we had practice today, just trying to have as much fun and enjoy each other and everything as possible. I've been asked a couple times today about how I liked the regional bid, and I love it. Like we'll go anywhere. That's just kind of how, we'll take anywhere, any host site. But we kind of had our eyes and our hearts set on Athens a couple weeks ago. We were like, man, if we could go to Athens, that'd be awesome. That was just kind of one that I think we really enjoy playing in. And, we have a lot of familiarity with all three of our opponents. We played Georgia in the fall here at the Sioux, and then we played them last year in Athens when we went there for the second weekend of season. So a lot of our older players that were on the team last year have already played in the venue. We have a ton of respect for Tony, his staff, his program. It's going to be a great atmosphere with them hosting. And then we played Wilmington and Liberty in the regular season this year. Wilmington here in a tournament and then Liberty on the road, I think in late March or early April. No, it was late March. It was before Easter. So, we have a lot of information and we're just trying to prepare the gals as much as possible. We'll go to Athens with one thing on our mind, and that's to win it and to knock down the next door, go to Super Regional, and, just committed to playing our best this weekend with each other and enjoying all the moments. So, just really, really thankful, really excited. And, we can't wait to get to Athens. And, it's only about 3.5 hours away. Depends on what traffic you hit. So, also just really excited for the opportunity to have so many of our fans and our families, come down and support us. It's going to be a great atmosphere. It's a great venue to play. Athens is a great town. So, we're really excited to have Niner Nation show up.
Yeah, we were getting some restaurant recommendations from Ella last night.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of good food in that area. But Ella is the person to ask. Those are kind of her stomping grounds.
And Coach, is your home state as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my family will be there. They're really excited. It worked out great. My niece, Audrey, she's 18 months old, and she can't wait. She's already told me she's ready. She watches the Niner Gals all the time. So she'll have her ticket. She'll be in the stands. My sister got her a little ball cap.
Awesome.
To keep the sun off her face. So,
all right. Well, let's let you go, Coach. Go take a nap because we're gonna usher you out, and we've got somebody waiting to talk to us that we're pretty excited about. Somehow this didn't happen, Coach Ash. We did not talk to the Sassy Pony last year. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened last year, but we're about to fix all of that. We're going to settle all accounts, and we're going to ride with the Sassy Pony here for a little bit while you go, take a nap and maybe pack for Athens.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And enjoy talking to Sam. Sam Gress is one of a kind. She's unbelievable. Just everything she's done for the program, but she's also just a great person. And, so I know everyone will enjoy that conversation.
Awesome, Coach. Congratulations again, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, head coach Ashley Chastain. We always appreciate Coach making time for us here, the Diamond Niner Gals podcast. Now, as promised, making her first appearance right off a championship-winning pitching performance, the junior right-hand pitcher, the sassy pony, Sam Gress. What's up, Sam?
Hey, guys.
Man, I don't know how it took this long to have you on here, but it was a mistake. And now we've corrected it, and we're pumped about you being here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so I walked up to you at the viewing party last night, and I was like, well, let's see if she'd be willing to come on. And I don't think I had the question all the way out of my mouth yet, and you were like, yes, let's do it.
I was so excited. We love your podcast. The whole team loves it. So anytime anybody's on it, we're super excited.
You hear that, Kevin? We have fans.
Right. Well, hey, we enjoy doing it. This is very fun for us to do, and we enjoy getting to know you guys. And we appreciate you spending the time with us and letting us into your world a little bit. Let's work our way backwards. Let's start with Saturday. We talked with you a little bit last night at the selection show. You mentioned the crowd. The crowd was pretty intense because we were playing on Wichita State's home field with their home fans with the championship on the line. Take us through that first inning when you were pitching in that lineup and got the crowd, got the championship mojo going. Take us through that, please.
Yeah, so when we were the home team, so we got to go out in the field first. And when I tell you that was probably one of the loudest environments that I've ever played in or been in. It was one of the coolest things, hearing, you were able to hear the Wichita State fans chanting their chant. And then the next thing you know, the 49er fans chanting the 49er chant, just going back and forth. It was just one of the coolest environments, super loud. It was absolutely packed. Just a really cool environment for us to be in, especially, going into regionals, just helping us prepare for that this coming weekend. But yeah, the environment was probably one of my favorite things.
So you took some punishment right off the bat. You pitched to Wong, mm-hmm. and she got a single. But then maybe the hottest player in the country comes to the plate, and you just straight up walked her. Yep. Not even messing. And they didn't like that.
No, they let me hear it for sure. Everybody was booing. That was the first time I've ever been booed. Rightfully so. You're on their home field. She's their best player. They want to see her hit. And probably a top 5 moment being booed like that while you're on the mound.
Kevin, I think I can speak to this. You might be able to as well, but Sam, getting booed gets easier. Just at a certain point, you don't even pay attention to it anymore.
No, no, they did it the whole game. So by the third time, I was used to it.
Yeah, well, you got the right kind of attitude. You enjoy stuff like that. I think when we had Coach McKibben on there, what did he say about her in the weight room, Nick?
He said that you lift with hate in your heart. And that's what I responded and said, I've been told that I podcast the same way. So we're even, but yeah, Coach McKibben said that you're basically a monster in the weight room.
It's all because of him. It's the energy that he brings every single day. And the rest of the girls, he pushes us in the weight room. It starts with him, and just trickles into every single one of us. But yeah.
So that competitive attitude, I know you played basketball throughout high school, and from reading your bio, you were very successful as a basketball player. And I'm surprised to hear that yesterday's crowd was the most intense you've seen because you were a basketball player as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up playing basketball. Basketball was a huge part of my life. Growing up, it was a big part of my family's life as well. My brothers, they both played. My dad played basketball in college, so he taught me everything that I know. But yeah, I played all throughout high school, and it was just one of my most favorite moments throughout high school, just being able to play basketball, being able to do it with my dad. Like I said, he taught me everything that I know, going to the gym with him, seeing my brothers play. It's definitely some fun memories there.
So let's talk for a minute about like comparing, say, you this time last year versus now, because you were awesome last year. Everybody knows that, and you carried a lot of the load for the team last season. This season, you've been able to work a few less innings. And honestly, I don't think you were in the waiting room yet, but Coach said that she doesn't even think she's ever seen you like this. Like you're just on a level that she hasn't even seen before. And really, when you start looking at it statistically, I mean, you've been fairly unhittable about the last month, let's call it. So just compare and contrast the two experiences, say last year versus this year.
I would say the biggest thing is I'm healthy this time around, compared to last year. At the end of last year, I was dealing with a little bit of foot pain, and just battling that out. Versus this year, I feel completely healthy physically, mentally, and just fresh. I know I dealt with a little bit of an injury during the season this year, took a few weeks off. And I think in the long run, just that's helping me as well. Just, not a lot of innings on my arm, and just feeling completely ready to go at this part of the season.
Well, every show now, since we've learned about this, we always bring up the motor preference. Talk a little bit about your experience with the motor preference this year.
It's been really cool. It's been great to learn more about it. Coach Katie, she brought that into our program and has definitely been a game changer for all of us. Just learning about, if you're an aerial or terrestrial, and how that can be implemented into making us better softball players. And I'm an aerial, if you didn't know. But just learning more about I'm an aerial. And just, implementing that into my pitching, into my hitting, and just the positive results that I've gotten personally from it has just really helped me on the mound and in the box, and just helped me overall physically on my body, just allowing my body to be in preference the way that it wants to be. It just helps in the long run.
Yeah, I think we need another off season, Kevin, to really dive into this. So maybe by next year we'll be even deeper into that. But it's been a lot of fun because it's sort of like one of those things. Once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. You can't unsee it. So now I'm always paying attention to catcher's gear with stripes and colors and everything like that. And so it's just a lot of fun to pay attention to. Can't wait to learn more about it. So
yeah, it's even like if people are just like walking on the sidewalk or whatever, just looking at the way that they're walking and you're like, oh, that's a terrestrial, or just like stuff like that. Like it gets so ingrained in your head and it's like, that's what you're looking for.
See, I don't know what I am, Kevin. I don't think we have profiles yet.
That's what we'll do that this summer. We'll get profiled.
You got to get tested. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure out what we are.
Have you found that most pitchers are aerial?
On our pitching staff, it's more aerial, I believe. I think, honestly, I don't know. I haven't noticed much. I think it's a little bit of both.
Well, we'll have to effort that. Yeah, that'll be part of our off-season research.
Yeah.
So it sounded like that you guys had some very interesting travel just to even get to Wichita. So y'all were split into groups. What was your group's experience in just getting to Wichita?
Luckily, I was in the first group. So our flight experience was pretty smooth. We did have to travel with all the equipment. So that was the only, I guess you could say, downside was I think there was 12 of us and we had to get all of our like duffels and all of the equipment and then all of the second group duffels onto the bus packed up. But we had a pretty solid experience. If you ask anybody from the third or the fourth group, you'll probably get a different answer. But yeah, it was definitely interesting. I'm glad we made it there safely. Everybody got there.
Yeah, it's amazing the logistics that go into all this. It's crazy to be honest, and especially something so important like a conference tournament, a championship. So let's back up a little bit and get your story, how you became a Charlotte 49er. Started out at NC State down the road. You were there for a couple of years, entered the transfer portal, and then made your way to Charlotte. Talk a little bit about that journey and how you ended up 49er.
Yeah, so I spent 3 years at NC State, and after my third year at the end of the season, I just, made the decision that it wasn't a right fit for me, and really made the decision for myself moving forward that that's not how I wanted my college career to go, or how I wanted to finish it. With the relationship that I had with softball at the time, it wasn't the best. I wasn't happy. I wasn't really happy with the person that I was at the time, and just really needed to change the environment that I was in, change, who I was around, the people and everything. And so I entered the transfer portal, and so let me backtrack a little bit. I decided I was going to entered the transfer portal, went home for the weekend. And when I was coming back to Raleigh to move out, that's when Coach Taylor, she reached out to me and set up a phone call, and I got to talk to her and just learn more about Charlotte and the softball program. And so that's how it kind of kickstarted for me. And then on a whim, so I was moving out of Raleigh and was going to head back home to Pennsylvania for, the rest of the summer. And on a whim, reached out to Coach Ash. I had a phone call with her, and I was like, I could kind of sidetrack a little bit and go towards Charlotte and then make my way up to Pennsylvania through there. Just because I'd never been to Charlotte before, I'd never, seen the university. And then I could have the opportunity to meet some of the girls and then meet the coaches in person too. So I made the decision on a whim. I just decided to make a little pit stop in Charlotte, got to see the campus for the first time, and, got to meet the coaches, got to meet some of the players, and that really solidified it for me. I knew exactly what I was looking for when I went into the transfer portal. And so I, went, saw campus, then I went home. And then a few weeks later, I had my parents come down with me on a visit, just, so they could see it. I wanted them to be involved in the process too, just because, they mean so much to me and they've been a part of my journey. So they came down on a visit, got to meet Coach Ash, got to meet, Eric and, the rest of the coaches. And I committed on that visit, just because I knew in my heart that Charlotte was the place where I wanted to be and where I wanted to finish my career.
Now, Sam, I'm pretty decent at geography. You really wanted to do this because there is not a way to happen by Charlotte on your way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You don't stop by. I mean, you went the wrong direction.
Yeah, I went a little, probably like 2 hours out of the way, but it was completely worth it.
That's awesome. I was doing the Kevin. I was kind of picturing the map in my head. I'm like, no, wait a minute.
It was a little bit that way and then up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, you mentioned about like your relationship with softball.
Mm-hmm.
So like the making the move that you did was not even, I'm going to say it the right way. You talk about people, you hear this age of the transfer portal, you hear athletes talk about, I had to find the right spot for me and all the different justifications that go on. But you were really looking for a different experience altogether, not just a fit, but I mean, you were trying to change the nature of your relationship with something that obviously you love, but maybe you weren't in love with it right at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Softball, it's been in my life since I was 5 years old. It's really the person that I am today. And, at the time, it just, like I said, I just wasn't in love with the game. And I knew that there was so much more for me out there. And it was just about the people that I wanted to be surrounded by. And, that's exactly what I found when I came to Charlotte. The people here and the coaches, they push you to become a better player and a better person. And through all of that, just found the love of the game again. And I am always going to be grateful for this university and for the coaches just for what they've done for me since I've, stepped foot on campus. So it's just been a life-changing experience for sure.
Now, what about your return trip to Raleigh?
Oh, this past season? Yeah. That was the first time that I'd been back to Raleigh since I left, 2 years ago. So going into it, I was not as nervous as I thought I was going to be. I was a little bit more excited. The coaches that I had when I was there, they got fired, so they weren't, coaching that team anymore. So that probably made it a little bit easier for me. And, some of the girls that were on my team, they were there too. They're still on the team. So got to see them. But I was a little bit nervous, just to be in that environment again, just how I would react. But, I had a great conversation with Coach Ash before the game, and, she just really helped me through it. All of my teammates helped me through it. And just, it was really awesome because, I just, reflected back on, the last time that I was on that field and the player that I was and the person that I was and just, the state that I was in. And, to be able to go back there probably, for the last time and to just finish there as, who I am today and the player that I am today in a much better relationship with softball. And just, it just was a really, really awesome experience. And to be able to do it in a 49er uniform made it even better.
But no one was there booing you.
No, unfortunately.
So let's talk about the Sassy Pony. We've heard. I think it was credited to Anna Devereaux at some point, but let's get the story from you straight from you. How did that come about, and how do you like it?
Oh gosh, I love it. I think it's great. So it started last year in the bullpen. So a lot of the pitchers, they like to do stuff to their hair. They like to braid it. They like to, get it looking nice before a game. And I just throw mine up in a ponytail. And I think it was Amelia. Her and Maddie Wright, they were like, saying that, I needed something to do with the ponytail just because I don't do anything with my hair. Like I said, I just throw it up and call it a day. So then they came out with the Sassy Pony and kind of just stuck from there.
It's cool. Yeah, we saw it online and we just kind of ran with it. It's a really cool nickname. I'm glad you like it. Because it's pretty cool.
I think it's Kevin, let's see. We don't really, we've had lots of great nicknames on the baseball team. We don't really have a nickname, a good nickname over there on that side of Phillips Road now. But I think Sassy Pony's my favorite overall right now.
Really good too.
It's very fitting. It fits well. It does fit well.
Yeah, it's great.
The ponytail and all that. So it's it fits well, I think.
Yeah, it's Yeah. So that's interesting. So now, Kevin, this is funny how these stories evolve. We were having this debate over like who invented it. And now Sam has told the story, and she's just thrown 2 more names into it that we didn't even have before associated with this. So like, it's just going to be like one of those things. It's part of the legend of the Sassy Pony. Where did it come from? Nobody could really say for sure, but that's some of the way the best stories go anyway, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Came from somebody.
Came from everybody.
Came from everybody.
Yeah, the Sassy Pony just exists. So, you know.
Jimmy Touchstone made a logo too, right?
Yep. I think my mom got a shirt with that logo on the back or something. She wore it to one of the games. Yeah, I'll have to ask her if she's going to bring it to the regional. She's only worn it a couple times, but she does have a shirt with the Sassy Pony on it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's a definite. That's got to come to happen. Heck, I want one to wear on here. We need Sassy Pony shirts. That needs to be a thing. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's been so much fun. I mean, it's turned into, you know, we're using GIFs on tweets, and I may have referred to CC Wong as getting trampled by the Sassy Pony Saturday. Hey, look, I'm sorry, but you're the conference player of the year. Mm-hmm. And you're on your home field, and you're playing for a championship, and the bases are loaded, and you get struck out. That's. That you just got trampled by the Sassy Pony. No other way to put that. I mean, you know, hey, we like to have fun with it.
Yeah, so no, it's great. I love it.
You mentioned you mentioned about this relationship you've had with softball since you were 5. Mm-hmm. Why don't we go back a little bit? We like to talk to the gals about, you know, sort of your beginnings and how you got into the game and the way your game evolved. So little 5-year-old Sam played softball for the first time. Mm-hmm. Why don't you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I have 2 older brothers, and they played sports growing up. They played baseball, and I spent a majority of my childhood at the baseball field. And just growing up around the game, my dad was their baseball coach. He was very involved in the rec league in our hometown. And so, like I said, I grew up on the ball field. And when I was 5 years old, that's the first time that he put a ball in my hand. And ever since then, you know, he taught me how to pitch. He, you know, so many late nights at the field with him. He taught me how to pitch, taught me how to play the game. He coached me growing up. And, you know, even when I go home now, he still catches me, still helps me out, still works with me. But yeah, started playing when I was 5 and sort of just never looked back.
So another baseball player.
I played T-ball, and then transitioned into softball.
Okay. At what point did you start pitching?
I believe I was like 6 or 7. It was shortly after that he started teaching me how to pitch.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as you, at what point did like your I'll use it again since you described it so well, your relationship with softball, when did you realize that your relationship with softball was becoming a long-term attachment?
Probably when, you know, just growing up in travel ball, being able to sort of experience that and, you know, go to tournaments and, you know, compete and everything. And I really just love to compete. And I made the decision. I was just like, you know, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to work at this. And this is something that I want to do for as long as I can. And so just continued with that throughout high school. And then the recruiting process started. And then, you know, that dream became a little more real. And, you know, here I am, 23 years old, still playing the game that I love and hoping to play it for as long as I can.
And in high school, your high school career, we talked about your basketball career. I mean, in your bio it says you scored over 1,000 points in high school. That's very impressive. Were you getting recruited at all for basketball?
I was a little bit. Mainly just like the Division II schools in our area, they wanted me to play basketball and softball. There was a little bit of Division I interest, but I had my heart set on softball and knew that was something that I wanted to do in college.
And you also play golf too, it says.
Yep.
So sport athlete.
Yep.
How's your golf game?
It's a little bit rusty now. I don't do it as much. But golf was actually the first sport that I played. My dad put that club in my hand when I was like 3 years old.
Wow.
And my oldest brother, Michael, he's the golfer of the family. He is a PGA pro, works at golf courses. So that's a huge part of his life. And, whenever I go home, I like to play with my dad a little bit. Both of my brothers play, obviously. So that's just a little family thing that we like to do together.
Have you ever played golf with or near CJ Layton?
I have not. I'm hoping to one day, though.
Okay. Kevin, we need to keep that in mind.
We need a third and fourth for the annual baseball tournament. Yeah,
CJ played with us as our fourth back last fall. And, CJ carried us around the course a little bit, but
I hear he's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, he's got this this fade that he kind of works. He plays it. So yeah, he's got that, but I don't know. Playing golf with the sassy pony, Kevin, that might need to go on the list of things to do in this next year.
That might be an auction item.
Sign me up.
For the Gold Glove Club. We can raise some money for the Gold Glove Club and auction off a round of golf with sassy pony.
Yeah, I love that. I'm getting excited just thinking about that. I think Kevin, we just started something. We'll figure out how to get CJ involved in it as well. So, Sam, you've been very generous with your time, and I know it's got to be a crazy week for you getting ready to head out on the road. But you talked about how much your time as a 49er has meant, and we'd love to hear stories like that. So far, you've got more memories to make, but so far, what's been your favorite memory as a 49er?
Oh, goodness. I can't just pick one. I feel like, so from last year, one of my favorite memories obviously was the regional, being able to go there, playing the regional final. And then also when we watched on the field all together and then, found out we were regular season conference champions. I mean, that's something that I will forever remember, being able to just share that experience with all of our families, and then obviously the girls and the coaches and some of our fans. But from this year, I feel like it's just got to be this past Saturday, winning the conference championship. I mean, just something that, like you said, like you'll just remember for forever, and being able to be on that field, hold up that trophy with people that you love. And, it's not going to be the last time either. And we just get to, compete again this weekend, which is even more exciting, and maybe make some more memories this season.
How about we do it this way? Which is better, lifting a trophy or getting booed?
Oh, lifting the trophy.
But you thought about it, though. Did you see that, Kevin? You didn't answer that. You thought about it.
She said getting booed was top 5. So.
I love that mentality. It's like I got booed. It was awesome. Oh man! All right, Sam. We're gonna close this thing out here. You have been so much fun to talk to, and I can't believe. Again, I don't know why it took this long to have you on here, but totally worth the wait. You're so much fun to watch pitch, and can't wait to do it again this weekend in Athens.
Mm-hmm. Yep, super excited. We just really appreciate all the support from you guys. This was just so much fun being on the podcast. Like I said, you have a lot of listeners, and we love listening to it every week, and just really appreciate all that you do for our program.
Hey, yeah, we're just happy to play any role we can, and y'all make it easy. You really do. Yeah, it's just fun to watch you gals get to do what you love and to excel at it. I mean, that's what makes it all worth it for us. So It's been great. All right, folks, we're out of time. We're probably past time, but again, I think I said this last week. These podcasts would be a lot shorter. These shows would be a lot shorter if the Niner gals didn't win so much. If there weren't so many awards and trophies and W's and if we didn't have all that stuff, this show could be a lot shorter. So don't blame us. There's just so much good stuff to talk about. But yeah, we sorry, not sorry. Can't wait to be back with you folks again next week. If you've enjoyed this, consider subscribing, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. You can always find Diamond Niner Report on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, folks, that's it for us this week. For Kevin, for producer Brad, for Coach Ashley, and for the Sassy Pony, this has been Nick saying, hey, we'll see you in Athens.